Greetings, the What It Takes Radio Company. We present our Friday program, Interesting Ideas. And today, on this Friday, we ask, what in the world should we do now? Well, now, what do we do? That's right. What do we do now? Here in the United States of America, coming up to Super Bowl Sunday, and there's a lot of super and stupid stuff that is coming all around us at the same time. So, what do we do now? Well, we just found out yesterday is that President Joseph Biden, the special counsel, decided that he did indeed, on a number of occasions, do things that were illegal, that were wrong, he shouldn't have done, that he could be tried for and perhaps convicted of a crime for. That's what the special counsel said, and that's what Joe Biden's own Department of Justice released. But they didn't charge him. They said it's not worth charging him because he's not competent enough to really stand trial and defend himself. But there we are. What do we do now? Now, remember, I did say that 2024 was going to be a bit of a challenging year, and it's going to be just that. So maybe I'd like to, as we flow into some things this weekend, to offer just a few suggestions, not about how you can change the world, but maybe a few things about changing your life by making some rather unique and maybe some powerful choices. Those could be some interesting ideas too. My name is Stan Houston, and the program begins right now. Hey, we're back. Thank you very much. Yes, that's exactly what we were told, that that was the case. And of course, now throughout the entire political conversations that are taking place in America, that's the deal. People are talking about the 25th Amendment, which is to temporarily replace a president who's incapable of doing the world and work. Obviously, they're now saying, how dare you then charge Donald Trump? What he did wasn't even near what Joe Biden did. All of that is flowing, and there are going to be calls for the president to resign. There are going to be calls for the Democratic Party to find a new candidate. All of that is in a flux. At the same time, the same situations are continuing. The inflation rate continues to go slow, but it goes, and prices are significantly higher. I went and got some medicine just yesterday to help my scalp condition. And it was just a bottle of cream. And I said, well, how much will that be? And she said, oh, $76. And I said, $76 for a tube of cream? Well, it would be $168, Mr. Houston, but with the discount that we give, it's only $76. Drug prices were really challenged in the United States Congress this past few days. And in effect, the CEO said, too bad. That's the way the system works. And they promised that we would have no relief from that. And so that's where the world is at. And I oftentimes say, I said at the beginning of 2024, it's going to be 2024, there's going to be more, but it probably won't be good stuff that we will have more of. So just a little bit of a thought on that. Well, what do we do now? Well, for the most part, as I've said many times now, in terms of political activism, that's for some people. I myself have decided that primarily I'm going to be an observer of the situation. Obviously, I have maybe sympathies and I have ideas that I think are important. But in terms of actually getting emotionally connected, now that's the point, emotionally connected to all the stuff, watching hours of television about the stuff. That's not good for us to do. Certainly an awareness, of course, um, but it's not going to dominate my conversation. It's not going to dominate how I spend my time. I am actually going to focus myself on some other things. Now, just to give you an idea, we are going to change somewhat the format for the Friday edition of Interesting Ideas, because I have been commissioned by a friend and it's been near and dear to me, and that is, let's talk about real change, not a gradual change, not about managing change, but let's talk about that remarkable word, the T word, transformation. Deep, significant, often life-changing changes. And my point is that in the midst of all of the other changes that we cannot control, I'm going to really seek in my own life. And I have a number of challenges that have come to me, and I have to deal with them. And some of them are pretty strong and tough. But how can I, even at the advanced stage of life that I'm at, how can I seek to be involved in some life-changing transformations, both for me and to help you, so that no matter who's the president, no matter what is the political situation, no matter what is perhaps the economic situation that we are all in, what can we do to live, first of all, with greater poise and self-confidence? Not being afraid, not living in anxiety and insecurity. How can we increase our poise? Then how can we have more power? As I've been noted just before, what I want to do to be a kind of a peculiar person who has a particular kind of special power. And what are the things that in my life and in my business, uh, perhaps in my family and community, what can I do that would lead to some significant transformations? I had to say to one of my friends the other day, because he's very much involved in a project that was assigned to him. And I was trying to help him in another project. And I just simply had to say to him, I said, hey, what you're doing doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I know the company, I know the project. Nothing is going to change no matter what you report or what you do. What you're doing is make work, and it doesn't matter. And there was a long pause, and he simply said, you're right. You're right. I know that now. Doesn't matter. I've been assigned to do it, and I'll try and do it, but it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to happen. I will have done my job, and nothing will change. The work I do will be filed away, and it doesn't matter. So, if you find yourself in more and more of those situations, what are you going to do that you actually can say, this does matter? Not only do I get paid for it, not only is it helpful and useful to others, but is it simply mere distracted entertainment that I'm providing for people, or does it really matter? So I'm just going to encourage you to think about some of those things as we go forward. You know, fine. Enjoy the Super Bowl if you care. Have some good food, but don't eat too much. Have something to drink, but not very much at all. Enjoy the friendship, and perhaps you want to talk about some of the, you know, the commercials. Isn't it crazy? We spend a whole weekend talking about commercials. And remember, those commercials don't matter. They don't matter. They don't change anything. And after the Super Bowl is done, nothing will have changed that matters. So there we are. Now, with that in mind, can I simply say this? One of the things that has happened is just this week, the classic film series that has been put out by the group that is telling the story of Jesus in new and modern ways, obviously to many in the Christian community, but it has incredible appeal around the world, and people who are not necessarily followers or believers are caught up, first of all, in how well the story is done and how well the movie production is put together. But it's called The Chosen. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is perhaps to do a little emotional, maybe spiritual, personal, organizational. I know I'm doing this for my two major businesses. Okay, what have I been chosen to do this year with this business? Maybe I actually have been chosen by fates and forces and situations beyond my even thinking and control. I have been chosen. What have you been chosen to do in the rest of 24 through the mess? Because it'll be a mess. The whole year will be a mess. What have you been chosen to do? Or what choice are you going to make? What choice are you going to make right now? I have chosen to, as I'm going to tell a young man who is asking for my counsel about a brand new job and assignment, what have you chosen to be? What have you chosen to do? And what do you seek to see in your new assignment? In your new leadership role, what have you chosen to be? What have you chosen to do? What do you want to see? Make sure you have deep clarity about that. And if you don't, you better hire somebody like me to help you work that process. Right now, I've put out a series on how to be a world-class business performance coach, which everybody has to be. If you're in leadership today, you have to be world-class and you have to help people do their business performance. You have to be able to do that. And perhaps you want to do it even professionally. You want to make it a role that you can play in your marketplace. How to be a business performance coach. We don't need many managers. We need some. We need better leaders. But most of all, what we need are people of wisdom, POWs, people of power, POP. And we actually need people who understand people of prayer. They know that they cannot do it themselves. And so what they seek to do is find a way to have greater power in their life and business. This is a transformation. We're going to try and see how we can be more transformative in who we are and in the business we do and in the life we are living. So there we go. That's it. As I said, my name is Stan, and I'm full of interesting ideas. And what I would like to do is help you. So reach out to me at stan@stanhouston.com. Stan@stanhouston.com, and I can help you. I can help you have maybe a transformative experience and a transformed year. All the best and blessings to you. May it truly maybe be a super weekend for you, because it's not the game, it's what happened to you this weekend. Bye for now.